It's your host, Hollie, and it's time for a little teaser talk. All right, so you guys hit Welcome to Rockville stage just a few hours ago.
Yep.
Now that you had some time to breathe, how are you feeling?
It feels good to be back.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a very special place in our heart for Welcome to Rockville.
Yeah.
It was our very first DWP festival we ever did. We headlined the camping stage a few years ago, and there's a very special thing for us here. So it feels so good to be back, and our first show back. So
You know, it's interesting because Rockville crowds can either make or break a band in real time. And, you know, with today's reaction, which was huge,
yeah,
that energy, it's interesting, like you said, because playing from the camp to now like big stages,
yeah.
that energy. So what would you say that is so special about the connection within your guys' music and the fans that it makes you guys and not breaks you guys in this crowd?
And I love that. It's because I think it's because we started, at the campground, and every year. This is our fourth year now playing.
Yeah.
So every year it's like a bigger stage, a
Mhm.
slightly later time. So we're getting to grow with our fans at the
Yeah.
same time as each they come back to the festival. So I think it's just every year that the core fan base here is just growing and growing. I think it's just special to have that kind of relationship with the fans here.
And that's what Welcome to Rockville does a fantastic job, is that community.
Yeah.
It's not just, oh, it's a show, it's a festival. Like, those connections that you guys made from the camp shows to
Right.
stages. And I know it gets harder and harder as you guys get
Yeah.
bigger and bigger, but that connection, people remember that.
Yeah.
They remember that it's more than just music. It's a real connection that ties them to you guys. So that's amazing. Okay, so let's talk about bad habits.
Sure.
And I'm not talking about my nicotine addiction.
Right.
I am talking about
Yeah. What is your bad habit? Yeah.
let's talk about this though.
Yeah.
So Bad Habit feels like a statement track, darker, bigger, more confident. Did you approach that song knowing it would introduce a new chapter to?
Honestly, I think halfway through the process of writing that song, we realized that it would be a great reintroduction track to the band. I think it does everything. All the elements of the song are things that we do very well. And I think it's the best version of these elements on this song. So it's been a little bit since we released music. 2024 is the last song we put out, which was Bleed You Dry. So coming back with Bad Habits, it was a perfect reintroduction track. And yeah, I think it's going really well.
Yeah, that's amazing. You said a new era of Afterlife has arrived.
Yeah.
What does that actually mean for the band creatively and emotionally compared to previous releases?
So I can't say too much about this new era, but there
Perfect.
is
Teaser
a
talk, so we
great
can
one
tease
coming.
about it.
There's a very exciting era coming, but I think what's different about it as opposed to our last era, I suppose, we worked really, really hard on a lot of the stuff that we've been doing, and we really wanted to kind of have something that's a little more immersive.
Yeah.
So I've kind of noticed over the years, in between releases, that if you build a universe for your fans and music to live in, it just makes people like a little more connected.
Yeah.
And I want to give a place for people to feel like it's just bigger than the music, and I really think that we did that with what we're working on.
And you guys do have a solid fan base. Like
Yeah.
I was creeping.
Sure.
And the reaction, or I guess better yet, response to Bad Habits has been amazing.
Yeah, we put it out maybe 2.5 weeks ago. It's already on Octane, and we're seeing all like the people create videos on like TikTok with it, and that's always exciting for me because we've never been really like recently. We've been really, really like active on I think we just hit maybe 200,000 followers on it.
That's awesome.
And seeing how people want to be creative with the song, it's really interesting the kind of life it's taken on that.
Yeah, I was one comment that stuck out to me that was, again, I was great.
Sure.
Another bad habit I have, stalking.
Right.
Just kidding, you're safe. But anyways, with that being said, one comment specifically said they drove over 4.5 hours to Chicago and back, blasting this in the rental on repeat.
That's awesome.
Like 4.5 hours of Bad Habit.
4.5 hours. The song's 3.5 minutes, so that's a lot of times to listen to that. And that's like, I think that's the commitment that we love about our fans. It's like, they're not casual by any means. Like, they are die hard. Like, so that's the kind of stuff that I love to see. And the reception for the song has been awesome.
Love it. Well, festivals like Rockville are interesting because you get long-time fans like we're talking about. But then you also have people in the crowd that are hearing you guys for the first time. What is it that you hope that those first timers receive and walk away with from your experience of watching you guys?
I think my favorite thing about playing in front of new people is seeing like their reaction.
Yeah.
Because I'm very soft spoken like this
Yeah.
naturally, and then on stage it's
earlier,
like a
like,
completely
oh my gosh,
different thing. And I think to kind of like watching people become a fan of a band in real time from the stage is incredible. Like, you know, we see everyone in the crowd, like we see all the faces, and like watching them have like progressively a better time as the set goes on. It's a really special thing we get to experience.
Well, especially because like with festivals, it's like you have to ping pong back and forth to all these stages. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna give this man 30 seconds, impress me, or I'm on to the next stage to catch somebody else.
That's the cool thing too. It's you know, because a band ends and you see who comes and checks you out, and they stay and they leave. And it was awesome today to see a lot of people come over to the show, stay, have a good time. And I jumped off the stage afterwards and met a bunch of fans and took a bunch of photos. That's awesome. It was awesome.
Well, very cool. Well, this is Teaser Talk. So we like to leave fans with a little bit of a tease of what to look forward to, what can they get excited about. Without giving too much away, what do you guys have on the horizon for 2026 that we can get excited about?
What I can say for sure is we will be releasing what I would call probably the heaviest Afterlife song next month. Can't tell you when, but I will go on record and say it is probably the heaviest song the band has written. And I think that's very exciting because we have some very, very heavy songs. And the inspirations that went into this next one, I don't mind saying it's like Knocked Loose, Gojira, Meshuggah. So if people are the fans of those bands, you know how raw and intense those songs is. So yeah, I'm very excited for this.
Well, now I'm excited, and I'm sure everyone listening to this is excited as well.
Also,
well, thank you so much for taking the time. I know it is so cold out here, and I appreciate
I need like 3 jackets.
Yeah, I was gonna see if they could get a blanket for you.
Yeah,
so
a blanket, a parka. It's snowing
like
here in Daytona Beach, Florida right now.
Well, I appreciate you weathering the elements and taking time to talk with us.
Of course, thank you. Thank you for having me.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of Teaser Talk. Head over to teasertalk.com to subscribe so you don't miss out on another episode. Until next week, keep rocking.